This has massive implications for the New York Yankees. An MLB insider has revealed Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone's plans for the third base position as the New York Yankees get rapidly close to spring training games, beginning with two big names still left on the market that the Yankees could go with. But with an update from an MLB insider, we are going to break down what we're seeing from the Yankees. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here. Guys, if you're enjoying the channel and you want daily New York Yankees news, rumor reports, updates on trades, updates on the offseason, even in the final hours of it, make sure to subscribe to Yankees Digest. If you're part of that 74%, you don't want to miss out. But let's jump into the video and talk some baseball, everybody, because the New York Yankees, well, we know the deal. The team just does not have an answer at third base right now. There's a few different names within the organization that the Yankees are looking at, and there's a few external guys who the Yankees did look at for very cheap, but most of them got signed. There are some still available that the Yankees could go with, but they do have a full 40-man roster, which is an important thing to note here. So diving into what Brian Hawk said, he mentioned that although the Yankees were connected to reports for Nolan Arenado and Alex Bregman at various times this winter, it now appears they will be bringing in-house competition for their third base spot, at least to start the spring off, and that DJ LeMahieu is the most experienced choice, but most recent seasons have been wrecked by injuries. Last year, he was limited to just 67 games by a right foot contusion and a right hip impingement, and he batted .204. He's owed $30 million over the next two seasons. Others in the mix will include Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza, and Yorbit Vivas. Cashman mentioned that Jazz Chisholm also may see some time at third base, depending on injuries, though for the most part, we will be seeing, according to Brian Cashman, we will be seeing Jazz Chisholm Jr. at second base, which makes sense. Look, guys, second base is a more important infielding position. We know Jazz Chisholm's an elite fielder. I know he's got the great arm, and it's good for third base, but LeMahieu can play anywhere in the infield outside of shortstop, or at least he could. It's unclear if he's still able to move, but same thing with Oswaldo Cabrera and Oswald Peraza. All three of them can really play wherever in the infield. I mean, Cabrera can literally play all four positions if you need. You could put Cabrera any position in baseball, any of the seven. You could put him any infield or outfield spot. Cabrera can handle, probably not center field as much or shortstop, but he can do it in a pinch. Luckily, he won't have to, but he can, is what I'm saying. Look, I like that Jazz is going to second base. I just wish the Yankees cared enough to spend more money, but Hal Steinbrenner won't. So even though the idea of Alex Bregman for a contending team makes a ton of sense, like the Yankees, no, we won't get him. Nolan Arenado, it's a little more possible, and we will dive into that as there's been a lot of Arenado news recently, so we're going to go over that once again, but that's for a different video, different time, different place. But LeMahieu, I mean, last season was atrocious. As we saw, he had a 2.04 or a .204 batting average, minus 1.6 WAR in 201 at-bats in the 67 games he played. His OPS was down. His OPS plus was down. I mean, we saw him be this elite addition the Yankees made, and now these numbers are half, basically, of what they were. Some of them are when DJ was just at his peak with the Yankees, becoming an all-star with them, getting a gold glove, getting a silver slugger. The man was so good at the New York Yankees once upon a time, but he's so far removed from that with all these injuries. It's just tough to bank on him now. It just really is, and it sucks because, well, he seems like a vibe. I mean, the Yankees almost cut DJ, but the veterans stepped in and said, no, we cannot cut DJ LeMahieu. He matters too much to the clubhouse. So LeMahieu has stuck around, but it's hard to imagine that he'd be able to recapture any of that magic that made him one of the best leadoff hitters and just one of the best players in the MLB. We saw him come in fourth in the MVP voting. So we know that when LeMahieu wants, or not when he wants to play good, he does, but we know that LeMahieu has that ability to be great. The eye is not going to go anywhere, and outside of that, I mean, is there really much going for him at this point? Like, it's just tough to trust DJ LeMahieu, guys. And obviously, you guys are Yankee fans as well. You know that. But Aaron Boone said recently that he said he feels really good where LeMahieu was at the very end of the season physically. Now, can he maintain that and improve upon that in the winter and really put himself in the mix heading into spring training? I would never cross off a player of his caliber, Boone said, even though it's been obviously a rough couple of years, which is correct. I mean, it's definitely been a rough couple of years for LeMahieu. He's trying to recapture that magic, but at 36 years old, it feels heavily unlikely, and it feels like the Yankees will have to go in a different direction. odds are it's going to be Oswaldo Cabrera at third base, which, I mean, look, he's a switch hitter, which is nice. He's versatile. He's a good base runner. He's got something to him, so it's not the worst option in the world. It's not super convincing, but maybe a full season of one position for Oswaldo, or at least a good stretch of consistency in his role. Maybe he'll really start to piece it together. It's possible. We've seen Oswaldo have great moments with the Yankees, so it's certainly possible. He is a good fielder. He's got a great arm. He can handle third base well. It's a matter of, can he get that hitting going, which at times we've seen it's possible. A 661 OPS for a guy who's mainly a good fielder is not the worst thing in the world at all. The problem is you're competing with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are stacked up, so it makes it tough to just be thrilled with this idea of Oswaldo Cabrera as your third baseman, but still, alas, here we are. Now, Alex Bregman was a name who the Yankees were linked to a lot over the offseason. There was a moment where it really felt like Alex Bregman was going to go to the Yankees. He had a 4.1 WAR last season. He's a two-time All-Star, two-time World Series champion, a Silver Slugger, a Gold Glover. The man's been great in his career. I mean, his OPS was down this year significantly at a 768, which is still good, but it's not the 848 that he once had. Slugging percentage is a little bit down. I mean, batting average 260 is all right. He's a solid fielder, solid batter, solid player overall, good vibe, good leader. I know I said good vibe, and the man was part of the cheating scandal, but still, like, there's a reason why his teammates like him. The reason why he has not been signed is because he wants a long-term deal, and teams are weary of giving him one at 30 years old and having a bit of a down season that he used to. I would imagine he ends up on the Red Sox or the Blue Jays, so I do think he'll end up in the AL East, just not with the Yankees. And there is one thing to note here. The only reason I'm not more mad that the Yankees aren't going after a guy like Bregman is because the Yankees might be trying to save some money to go for someone next season, specifically Kyle Tucker, who could replace what Juan Soto gave the Yankees. So it's potentially them holding off for that, which I do hope they do. I hope they go all out for Kyle Tucker next offseason. It would be huge for the Yankees to acquire him. He's on the Cubs, but I imagine he'd leave the Cubs after this 1 year because, well, the Cubs want to save money. I have no idea why they traded for Tucker. It seemed like a really ass-backwards move from them, but that's the world we live in. Now, on top of this, Nolan Arenado, the Yankees have been once again linked to, and again, we'll do a video breaking down why the Yankees are once again linked to him, but he had a 2.5 WAR last season, batted solid 720 OPS. I mean, batting average 272. He does give you another righty bat. It's another influx of righties on this team, but still, Arenado's a very good option. He's close with Paul Goldschmidt. Playing on the Yankees would probably motivate him to get back to the normal Nolan Arenado that we know, to see if he still has any stuff left. He's also been open to moving around positions if teams don't want him at third base, given the Yankees do want him at third base. And he's an elite fielder. He's a 10-time Gold Glover, 6-time Platinum Glover, 5-time Silver Slugger. Those days, maybe some fear are gone. We'll see on that front, but Arenado, elite fielder, it would make some sense for the Yankees to go after him as well. It's just a weird situation the Yankees have placed themselves in here, where for some reason there's just zero just urgency to succeed after losing the World Series and losing Juan Soto within a month. Like, it's weird that there's just very little sense of urgency for the New York Yankees to try to win. Now, I do imagine that the Yankees are going to be good this season. I think they're very well-rounded. But Brian Hawk is right to bring all this up. It's very, very important to note that the Yankees going internally is probably a mistake. Now, Cashman mentioned that he doesn't know how it's going to play out for third base, saying, I do think we can have one of these candidates emerge, multiple guys emerge at worst, or a solo shot at best. If not, there's always the marketplace to play around with as we move forwards. We'll see how the New York Yankees move forwards. I'm very interested into seeing what this season looks like. And guys, if you want daily Yankees content, I know it has not been daily recently, but we're going to get back on that grind for sure. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.